Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is July the 7th, 2019. Wasn't Jay Gibbons? No, was he born July 7th, 1977? I don't know. He was a player for the Orioles. He might have been born March 2nd, 1977. Anyway, strong hand, long-term thing. It'd be cool to be born on July 7th, 1977, though, wouldn't it? Someone was once. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting a lot of baseball players confused. And speaking of baseball, look at this thing. This is in are any original Florida Marlins fans out there? Echo. Do they even exist? Well, if they did, they would remember this color from the 90s. Look at this shirt. It's linked to below. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Buy and hold. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Having hype. I kept the lights on today for some reason. So you could see the Florida Marlins color. Again, I'm not promoting any Florida Marlins here. Just because I say the name doesn't mean I like them, because you know what I like. Bitcoin and the Baltimore Orioles. And that's where I am today, Baltimore. But I'm going to be in Israel, in Tel Aviv, really soon. So everybody, check out the links below. Disruptmeister.com, TECHBALT, TechBalt on Twitter. And you can see that This Week in Bitcoin was great with Juan Galt, Phil Geiger, and Chris Black. There was some altcoin controversy, everything you guys love. Yes, these shirts are at lightninghood.com. And they sent me a lot of them. And again, the hat too. We got he sent me these pins that say Bitcoin. I mean, really, thanks, Lightning Hood. You guys are awesome. Now they didn't send me this, but I just wanted to show you that. That's my buddies in Australia. Anyway, where are we going with this? Oh, yesterday's Beyond Bitcoin show was awesome. Remember, guys, if you have questions, type in Bitcoin Meister in there. Anthony Monero, I haven't seen him for a while, sent 229 euros. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you very much for the support, guys. Everything is linked to below. All my crypto addresses and Peter Schiff's crypto addresses are listed below. Yeah, he's got 1 Bitcoin address, okay? We're going to get into that in 1 second. Let me just make sure I'm not skipping anything. Oh, on yesterday's show, Saturday's show, I was talking about fasting, my 90-hour fast. And I forgot, I said, someone was telling me, agreed with me that fasting on planes was a great idea. And that's my friend Ray. I wanted to give Ray a shout out. Ray is actually in Baltimore, and he might be on the show one day. He actually he's blind. And so he uses Bitcoin though. So he's got a very interesting perspective on this. And I do want to get him on the show. I've known him since December of 2017. And hopefully he'll be on the show soon. But he fasted on a plane. He agreed that was a good way to start fasting. Okay, so Ray, you'll be on the show in the future. I know you're watching this now. Shout out, my friend. All right, moving on. Again, a Baltimore Bitcoiner besides me. That's awesome. Pound that like button. Look, I mean, you can't get better than that. He's actually moving to Austin, people. If my Ray of Baltimore moving to Austin, if you want a new Bitcoin friend in Austin, and you want to meet Ray, contact me. I'll put you guys in touch. All right. Because Austin, huge Bitcoin community down there. I know a lot of people from Austin watch this show, actually. So let's talk about Peter Schiff. Oh, my Lord. So not much is going on, is it, when people start giving away their Bitcoin to Peter Schiff? I mean, think about that. There's plenty going on, people. Why do you got to have a strong hand. And you think giving Bitcoin to Peter Schiff is going to make a difference. Dude, he's laughing all the way to the bank. You're not converting Peter Schiff from gold. You see, Peter Schiff has something that I talk about on this show. He has conviction with gold. He is stubborn. He's not changing his mind. But you're giving him Bitcoin. Yes, link to below is the Bitcoin address that he tweeted out that everyone started retweeting. And 107 people have sent him Bitcoin. He has raised over 0.2 Bitcoin. That's worth, for you fiat freaks, over $2,000. and it's getting him more attention for his gold business. He says he wants to raise 1 Bitcoin. He's not going to sell that Bitcoin. He'll be a holder. And then so everyone in the future, of course, will point to how foolish Peter was not to buy Bitcoin. Look how much his 1 Bitcoin is worth now. Yeah, look how much his 1 Bitcoin is worth now in 2023 that you gave him and that he will eventually sell. And, he lives in Puerto Rico. It's kind of funny. So one day he will sell that 1 Bitcoin. He will sell it one day. Maybe, the point will be proven. Oh, he lost. We beat him, didn't we? And then he will sell that 1 Bitcoin for more than what one person in San Juan makes in a year. And he will have done, and his business will have been promoted by all of you guys handing him over Bitcoin, thinking you're making a point. You're not changing his mind. He has conviction. If you truly had Bitcoin conviction, you wouldn't need to send him a darn thing. You wouldn't need his approval at all. He isn't making a difference in Bitcoin, dudes. He's not at all. You're throwing your Bitcoin, your precious Bitcoin down the garbage disposal. Unbelievable. So again, if you're a person who sends him Bitcoin, he is a person of more conviction than you are, okay? Because you've got a little bit of worry, like, well, I gotta convince this guy. I gotta convince it. No, you don't have to ignore him. Ignore him. Totally ignore the dude. He believes in gold so much, you're not changing his mind. You should have that type of conviction in Bitcoin, the type of conviction that Peter Schiff has in gold, okay? And a lot of people are going to like to hear, saying that, Peter Schiff's going to win on this. Oh, yeah, he's going to win on this. He's going to win on this. But in the long run, Bitcoin doesn't care. But since Bitcoin doesn't care, you shouldn't be giving up that asset to him, okay? All right, so we talked about his convictions. Very important thing. When he does sell it, by the way, when he moves it, maybe he'll attempt to move it before then, okay? 107 inputs on that freaking thing, all right? And it's not a SegWit address. It's a regular address with a 1. So when he tries to move it, the fee, the transaction fee, will be so high that he will start fudding again. Okay, he will point it out. He's like, "Oh, this thing is worthless. I mean, look how much it cost me $100 to send this darn thing." And again, the reason it will cost quite a bit to send it, because he will know he'll do it at some wallet, wherever he's got it stored. He'll just do the automatic fee that comes up. He won't try to change it. But again, there's 107 inputs into the darn thing. It costs a lot. That makes a big difference, and it's not a SegWit address, so it will cost a bit more than you usually pay to send that thing, and he will FUD. So again, you're giving away your Bitcoin to him. You're giving him FUD ammunition, and I mean, it's ridiculous. And you're proving that your conviction level on your asset is lower than his conviction level on his asset, which is gold, and yours is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is living gold's dream, but you're giving Peter Schiff the dream of the regular Puerto Rican citizen, because he will have the amount of Bitcoin that will be worth more than the average Puerto Rican citizen's yearly income. Who knows when, but eventually it will. Pound that like button, you fiat freaks. And I enjoyed my time in San Juan. That's where I met Chris of the MWC Crypto Dividend. Remember, sign up before July the 19th if you want to get a crypto dividend. By the way, crypto dividends, for those of you who are not familiar, they're forks and airdrops. If you control your own Bitcoin on a Trezor, on whatever way, you get interest on your Bitcoin through the crypto dividend process, through airdrops, which the MWC is coming up. And of course, we've had forks, both friendly forks, unfriendly forks, doesn't matter. They're making you wealthier in terms of Bitcoin. And yeah, you want to get more Bitcoin. Turn them into Bitcoin, value your wealth in Bitcoin. 123 No Skip said, Bitcoin Meister, I actually believe that Peter won't sell his 1 BTC. He's already extremely wealthy and won't need that money, even when BTC hits the market cap of gold. Yeah, well, who knows? You're right. He is already he's already very wealthy. That's an excellent point. So why are people who are not as wealthy as Peter Schiff giving away their precious Bitcoin to him? These people are the same people. Oh, these millionaires, they became rich. It was so unfair how they became rich. And you're giving away Bitcoin to the people you complain about. He's ultra wealthy. Of course he's ultra wealthy. He's smart. He even lives in a tax jurisdiction where he's saving money on taxes, and you're making him wealthy. And some of you are complaining, oh, it's a conspiracy, and all the banksters made him rich, blah, 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 blah. And you're handing over your Bitcoin to him. The same people who complain about the conspiracies and the rich and the elite and the Schiffs and the Meisters and the people that of the religion that Schiff and I have in common. You're handing over stuff to him. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. It's stupidity. I mean, I know some of the people that are doing this, they have good intentions. You're suckers. You're suckers, like the title says. You're totally suckers. Yeah, you clearly do not have a conviction level for your asset as Peter Schiff has for gold. All right. So I was on the site bitcoinfees.earn.com because I was looking I had to send some Bitcoin. I had to move some Bitcoin around. And the fee that came up automatically on the Trezor was like 60 Satoshis per byte or something like that. I'm not paying. What's going on with this thing? So I see that's a very interesting chart. I linked to it below. The distribution of fees is so interesting because you can see there's some people that clearly just automatically pay the fee that their wallet generates. And some wallets generate high fees automatically. But then you see some people try at 1 Satoshi per byte. I did it at like 20 or something, and it immediately did it. It sent it real fast. And I wasn't in a rush or anything, but I wanted to make sure it got sent. Let's leave it at that. There's sometimes you want to make sure if you're moving stuff around that it gets sent to your other address. I mean, you wouldn't want to, if you value your wealth in Bitcoin, you wouldn't want your wealth getting stuck. So, but I think it's an interesting distribution chart. It's an interesting chart because the distribution is all over the place, which again, to me, it shows that people blindly, they don't try to edit. They don't try to change the fee at all. And they can lower the fee. You can do a custom fee on your Trezor. I mean, I was using a Trezor actually. So I was experimenting around with it. So it's linked to below. Check that out. I thought this was a good title that CoinDesk had for this Libra article. Libra isn't a cryptocurrency. It's a glimpse of a new asset class. Now, again, they go into some nonsense about this new asset class, and we're kind of nebulous about it too. But for me, when I read the headline, at least, I thought, yeah, it is a new app because it really isn't a cryptocurrency. It's a virtual country currency. Facebook is a virtual country. And there are other virtual countries out there also, Google, Amazon, and they are going to all have their own currencies one day and show to the world that you don't have to be an official country, a physical country, to have your own currency. We're moving in it, and I think that's a good thing. So there will be a new asset class of currencies for virtual countries, and you can invest in them foolishly. Again, you should be valuing your wealth in Bitcoin, not in Libra or Google Coin or Amazon Coin or whatever is down the path. I'm sure the people watching this in 2024 are laughing, saying, "Oh yeah, my Adam predicted Amazon Coin. Pound that like button." What do we have here? We talked about. Oh yeah, Bitcoin opts you out of monetary tyranny or tyranny, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Because I saw someone mention monetary tyranny, and I thought to myself, yeah, that's a good way of describing the system that you want to not have to worry about it all. Banks can close down your account. If you're storing all your dollars in your bank account and they don't shut it down, well, then the United States can just print a lot of dollars and inflate away the value of your currency. And there's many other tyrannical type of moves that those in the traditional fiat marketplace can pull. And you can complain about them, or you can opt out. You can just opt out of it, out of the monetary tyranny. And I know it sounds kind of harsh, that word. But it's a good way of describing the regular financial system that's out there. There can be bailouts. Just one tyrant can just change the rules all of a sudden. or a group of people could just change the rule, or a country could change the rules that you thought, oh, wait, I just had a bank bail-in. Well, that's not fair. It's tyrannical. Well, don't have to worry about those things if you control your own private key with Bitcoin, baby. Because again, there are going to be Bitcoin banks also out there, and there will be some tyrants that control them. They can have a bank bail-in that they will. Some will call it a hack. Some will call it a Bitcoin bank bail-in. Yeah, if you keep your Bitcoin at a third party, they can decide to have a bail, because you don't really control your Bitcoin. Yeah, keep it on your Trezor, people. You'll understand. You'll understand the difference between controlling your private key and third parties. Hey, Anmar is in the house. He says, looking great, Adam. You must like the Florida Marlins or something like that. I mean, this colored shirt, these guys, you dudes have sent me some wacky colored shirts. You sent me some wacky shirts, man. You should have sent the orange and the black, man. You know what it's about. Baltimore Orioles, baby. Oh, man. Marlins colors. Or old Florida Marlins. Again, any old Florida Marlins fans out there? Like from 1993? Crickets. All right, so moving on. I know. Okay. Let's go. Where am I here? Getting distracted with baseball stuff. And yeah, the Baltimore Orioles right now are the worst team in baseball, but I've got conviction, baby. Pound that like button. So, this is a tweet from BTC Macro. Now, again, he's kind of harsh in this tweet, but I thought it was funny. Some people will still be skeptical about Bitcoin at $40,000. These people are called morons. That was a good one, man. Nah, it's harsh. That's mean to call people morons. But I think you guys get the point. That, yeah, if it does hit, when it does hit $40,000 one day, not saying when that happens, yeah, some people will still be skeptical about it. I mean, it's part of the process, guys. It's part of the process. There's always going to be the naysayers, the fudsters out there. Oh, Schiff will still be he'll still be skeptical about Bitcoin at $40,000. Trust me. Except that he'll have one Bitcoin worth $40,000, and some of you dudes won't. The 80%, the no coiners won't, which is hilarious. Again, the rich get richer. Again, worry about yourself. Don't worry about the income inequality. Again, there are probably people who complain about income inequality that are giving Bitcoin to Peter Schiff and making him richer than them. But again, you got to worry about yourself. And if you truly worry about yourself, you won't give away your Bitcoin to someone who doesn't like Bitcoin. Unbelievable, the world we live in. I mean, yeah, just do the simple, logical things. Don't give away your Bitcoin. I don't see how that's pretty easy living right there. All right, dudes. I think that's the end of the show. I didn't have that much to say tonight. Any other questions? Oh, yeah. Winwo TM said, have you seen the Bitcoin show? If so, what do you think about it? It's just called the Bitcoin show? Is there no, I've not heard of that. That's a pretty generic name. It's even more generic than the One Bitcoin Show. Pound that like button. But remember, guys, I call it the One Bitcoin Show because you're supposed to aim. If you don't have any Bitcoin, try to get one, then try to get two. But don't give some away to Peter Schiff, delaying you getting that one Bitcoin. It's funny. He's trying to, maybe he watches the show. He knows that you need to get one Bitcoin, except he's going to get it for free, even though he's a multimillionaire. Okay. Bitcoin and Friends. Bitcoin and Friends? There's like the show with Charlie Lee that's like stuffed animals and no, I don't know Bitcoin and Friends either. Okay, dude. Okay. Hey, hot stock fly. You are really an ignorant fool. I want to say something right here. You're an ignorant person. You sent me an email asking me what you're asking me right now. You said you watch every one of my shows, dude. You said you watch every one of my shows. The chutzpah for you to put that lie in an email to me, to say you watch all of my shows and to ask me such an ignorant question. You didn't have to say that. You could have been polite about it too. He says, do you trust MWC no name dev and Andy Hoffman not to hack or steal when you signed for the MWC airdrop. Dude, if you actually watched all these shows, you wouldn't have asked me that ignorant question now or in the email that you sent me. Okay? Because the no-name Dev, he's been on this show before. You think I don't trust my freaking friend who I mentioned at the top of this show? Chris. His name's Chris, you ignorant. That you say you watch all these shows, you haven't seen him on my show, and you diss Andy Hoffman, who's my friend also? That's how you ask a question to me in an email, dude? You piece of crud. All right? And you said, are you actually claiming the MWC? Do you have a listening comprehension problem, you ignorant piece of dung? I've said it so many times on this show. You said you watch all my shows. I said it, that I've done it. I've claimed it. Of course I have. Of course I trust my friend. You spreading this FUD. Just nonsense. Nonsense that you sent me that email. And I wrote you back, you jack. All right? And then you forwarded me again. You didn't get the reply that I sent you. Learn how to use email. Learn listening comprehension. Okay? And don't lie and say you watch every one of these darn shows and ask me such a question about a friend of mine that I have on this show. Okay? Friends of mine that I have on this show. You're not paying attention at all. You don't watch the darn show. All right. I just wanted to point that this guy, again, is appearing in the chat after he sends me that email. And I replied to the email. Learn how to check your email, dude. My God. But again, if people who watch this show every day don't get it, that I trust Chris, and that I just, at the beginning of the show, I said I met Chris in Puerto Rico over a year ago. I was talking about MWC, and that I've specifically said on the show, I've claimed the thing before. It's safe. I'm doing it. I don't talk the talk. I walk the walk. So if I'm doing it, obviously I think it's safe. All right? There you go. Bitcoin and Friends is a cartoon. You would love it. All right. Is that the one with Charlie Lee? I don't know. I love Charlie Lee. I've had him on the show too. All right. That is it. We had a little extra thing there. That's very nice. But again, dude, check your email. I said the same thing in the darn email to the guy that's here. All right. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the links below. Pound that freaking like button. You never know what you're going to get out of this show. I'll see you guys in the chat. Thanks. Bye.